Welcome. This is the Bright Professor. I'm Dr. Leonard Bright. This is the fourth episode in a series where I am exploring in detail a meeting between me and my wife and the dean and his executive dean after I learned that the college recommended that I be denied promotion to the rank of full professor, despite my years of high performance. In the previous episodes, we left off where the dean admitted to two crucial facts. First, he admitted to being aware that Faculty 1 was indeed addressed by the former dean in regards to his poor behavior towards me. And second, he admitted that Faculty 1 went to the university, to him and others, and readily admitted that he had multiple run-ins with me as he lobbied to chair my full promotion process. In this episode, the gloves come off and the dean engages in personal attacks against me. And my wife lets him know how she really feels about the callousness he is displaying toward the critical issues that we are raising. Let's listen. Why would the Bush School want me to accept the involvement of someone in such a critical position?
The Bush School hasn't had a position yet.
You've already did it. He's in my file. You let someone participate. Now blame me and say I didn't let you know.
I'm not blaming you.
He notified the dean of faculties that he had, quote, run-in to the point where you even said Ryan had to talk to him about slamming a door about the interaction with me, and then want me to accept.
Were you emotional with him in that conversation?
To talk to Dean? Absolutely not. I walked away. First of all, Dean, I can manage myself. I don't have those kinds of interactions here at the Bush School. He does. And at the end of the day, you want me to accept the evidence that you have, and then you refuse to even so much as say he probably shouldn't have been involved. Can you say that? Should he have been involved in this process?
Let me go back to what I said before, because I don't think you're listening to this. And sometimes you do get emotional, and you don't.
Don't say that.
You do.
Don't say that.
You do.
I think that is an insult.
Are you going to let me finish a sentence?
Don't insult me.
Just let me finish a sentence.
I will, but don't insult me, please.
You want to try this?
Now, Welsh, recognizing that I was not going to be convinced that my concerns can just be ignored, especially given what he knows about Faculty 1, he resorted to taking a personal shot against me by calling me emotional. This has been a consistent strategy of Dean Welsh that I have had to deal with in this meeting, after this meeting, and to this very day. I just want to know something about you. I do. I just want to know. And this will help me understand you, if you answered or not. Should a person who admits to have run-ins with me, addressed by Dean Ryan for his temper, should someone like that be involved in the process?
I think it would be
Fired
reasonable.
man's wife, good God.
Well, yes or no?
Let me say something here, because first of all, I don't want to put Mark on the spot like that.
Now, the executive dean was only invited to the meeting to observe and take meeting notes. But each time Dean Welsh gets into a tight spot in this meeting, the executive dean intervenes and interferes on his behalf.
I think what you've got to look at, and the position that, as provost, as dean, as vice chancellor, I've had to do this a lot of times. What I have to do, I have to look at the process and make sure the process was fair, the process wasn't tainted. I can't do that until I look at all the facts. I'm just saying though, if one person feels like, I'm a perfect example. When I was in health and kinesiology, there was one faculty member who I pretty much knew was a racist. It wasn't that we had run-ins. I knew the person was a blatant racist. So I had to, I couldn't just go say, this person can't be on the committee. What I had to do is I had to look at the process, and if I saw that there was a way, after everything was done, the decisions made, I had to ask myself, or I had to see if that one person tainted. But
this is poor advice that no one should follow. Whenever you feel that there is a problem, immediately notify your managers, your department heads, and your deans. Definitely in writing and even verbally. Your managers are responsible for following up with you, regardless whether they agree with you or not. It is a kind of managerial malpractice for your managers to take complaints from you in whatever form you provide them and then fail to follow up with you.
But he can't. But you're trying to get him to make the decision.
No, I'm not
before
trying to
you
get.
look at the facts.
You are arguing. Hold on, wait, Chris.
No, right,
You're
right,
arguing
no.
both sides of this.
Right,
On one
right.
hand, you're saying I should have said something if I thought it was before the process, or if I thought there was some taint. And now you're saying, oh, I shouldn't have said. Using the same reasoning, I can't really make the determination until after the process.
But
so you're doing both sides of this.
If you truly feel that it was that bad, that the person, for instance,
He knew it was that bad. That's why he went to
That's,
the
but clearly, that's
to,
why you don't let the fox in the
Christine.
storehouse. Because then you don't have to figure out what they did. You don't have to go find out. They're not there. The process is pure.
and I guess the
adjudicated in
question I
court.
would have,
I'm sorry.
someone has one or two run-ins, is that,
One or two.
is that,
Firing me was one or two run-ins. That was one or two. You
So
remember?
I'm not going to let my question go. If someone has that kind of background, should I, as the recipient of that person's involvement, should accept this person as having no
You're a PhD,
conflict
not a
of
GED.
interest?
Here's the role I think I play in this. It's to get all the issues on the table.
So the question's not going to be answered.
I can't answer the question.
I
It's
get
not
it.
going to be answered. Okay. All right. We get it.
Wait a minute now.
Yeah.
Lack of respect.
Go-
Let me finish the sentence since we
go-
started
go-
the
No, we just,
conversation.
I don't have no more to say.
I have it.
No, let's just be clear here. My job is to listen to everybody's side of this, everybody's side of it. Leonard, I already know that you're saying some things that other people don't agree with. I just mentioned Ryan said I did not reprimand him. I
We
did not
have
fire him.
something in writing.
So there are different
But then you
perspectives.
said that Ryan
Christina-
said that he closed they slammed the door and that this was this and that was that.
We-
and that
I-
you're gonna get with them about this and that.
Christina, I'll say. Christina.
Christina, the way this closes is I come back to Leonard and I'll say, okay, here's what I've decided and here's why. And here-
We already know,
Yeah,
I do. because I think that my husband is being,
Well,
cheated.
I
I think he's being
understand.
cheated.
I understand you feel that.
And I intend to be completely vocal about it.
I
Completely.
I get that and I understand.
We have been quiet. We have done. We have worked. And instead of being treated as someone who is valuable, we trust it. And now what I'm asking my husband to do, don't trust.
And Dean Welsh, I understand what you
No.
said. You said it
No.
before, and you keep saying it over.
It's a slap
You're
in the
not going to
face.
answer the question that you're going to read all sides, and we say this and we
We're
say
making.
that, and that you'll get the answer back to me. I think that's been very clear. So thank you for your
have lions
time.
and eagles.
Thank you for your time.
My husband is a lion.
Well,
He's
I
an
just-
eagle. Shoot the eagle. Feed your pigeons.
And-
I have been fired. I have been mistreated. I came and I smiled. I came and I worked. I came and I participated. And instead, you can't even answer a simple question. You can understand this, that, and the other. You'll find out. And he has to prove how the person cheated. Cheating is cheating.
As you just heard, we had enough, and I stood up and brought the meeting to an end. My wife then took the opportunity to passionately express how she really felt about how callously Dean Welsh handled my concerns. I am glad she said what she said, and I agree with it 100%. Dean Welsh played a critical role in supporting and defending his college's effort to rig my promotion process. Instead of creating solutions to my concerns, he sought to dismiss them and sweep them under a rug. We expect leaders to solve problems, not dismiss them, and especially not make them worse. It appeared to me that Dean Welsh's main goal was to communicate to me that I was not supported in hopes that I stopped pursuing my formal complaints. He made repeated statements that no one knew about the hostility that Faculty One displayed toward me and my wife, only to reveal later that he knew that these statements were false. At the end of this meeting, you heard Welsh say that he was going to follow up with me. Guess what? He never did. The very next day after this meeting, I informed the dean and the provost that I had filed an EEOC complaint. And in response, Dean Welsh began the process of recusing himself from my promotion process and refused to provide a dean's review. This was the first time in the history of the Bush School and the college that a promotion file did not include a dean's review. And guess what? he blamed me for his decision. As I continue to pursue my formal complaints, in my next video, you will hear my visit with the Dean of Faculties, and you will hear their response to Welsh's statements.